All right, if you're running a business, you know there are certain messages you just dread seeing. And one of them is about your GST credits. If you just got that notification, well, you're in the right place. We're going to break down what it means and what you need to do about it right now. Yeah, this one right here. Does this look familiar? Maybe it popped up as an SMS or landed in your inbox, and your heart probably did a little jump. This single sentence. This is the reason we're here today. And I know it feels like a massive headache is about to start. But trust me, there's a clear path through this. So let's cut to the chase. What does this actually mean for your business, like right now? Because this isn't just some random tax jargon, right? This hits your cash flow hard. So let's get into what this really means for your day-to-day operations. Okay, so what does blocked really mean? The simplest way to think about it is this. Your money is locked in a glass box. You can see it right there, it's yours, but you just can't get to it. Let's dig into how this whole lock actually works. First, a quick refresher on what we're talking about. Your input tax credit, or ITC, that's basically the money you get back for the GST you paid on stuff for your business. You then use that credit to pay less on your own GST bill. Simple enough, but when it's blocked, it means a GST officer has literally hit the pause button on some of that credit. You just can't use it for now. Let's put some real numbers to this to make it super clear. Imagine you've got 1 lakh rupees sitting in your credit ledger. That's money you're planning to use, right? You're counting on it to lower your next tax paying. Okay, now, boom, the officer steps in and blocks 40,000 of that. Look at this. Your total is still 1 lakh, technically, but the amount you can actually use just plummeted to 60,000. That other 40 grand, it's just out of reach for now. And that's the key thing to understand. This isn't a warning, it's an action. The system automatically subtracts that blocked amount from your usable balance. So you're left with your total ITC minus the chunk they've locked away. And yeah, if you weren't ready for that, it can throw your whole financial plan for a loop. Okay, so now we know what happened. The next big question, obviously, is who did this? And more importantly, why? Figuring that out is the first step to getting this whole thing sorted. Now, this is really, really important. This was not a computer glitch. It wasn't some random automated flag. A real person. Your jurisdictional tax officer, who is basically your local tax official, made the call to block your credit. And that's actually good news in a way, because it means you know exactly who you need to reach out to. So why would they do that? Well, from their point of view, they're trying to prevent any potential funny business while they look into things. It could be anything, really. Maybe they're scrutinizing your returns, or they found a mismatch somewhere. It could even be a suspicion about fake invoices or a claim for something you're not eligible for. They're just hitting pause until they're sure everything is on the up and up. All right, so we get the what and the why. Now let's get to the good stuff, your action plan. This is where we stop reacting and start being proactive to get your money unblocked. But first, seriously, take a breath. I know it's stressful, but you have to remember in almost every case, this is temporary. They haven't taken your money away for good. Think of it as a hold, not a penalty. It's just paused while they check some things. So how do you fix it? It's a pretty simple 3-step process. 1, you got to contact your officer. 2, ask them if there's any official notice you need to deal with. And 3, give them whatever documents they need to see. The faster and clearer you are, the better. Okay, so documents. What does that mean? Well, it could be anything that proves your claim is legit. You should be ready with things like purchase invoices, reconciliation statements, maybe even old VAT returns. The point is, if you have this stuff ready to go, you're going to make this process way, way faster. So you've done the work. You contacted the officer, you sent over all your paperwork, and they're satisfied. What happens next? What does that finish line actually look like? Let's see what you can expect. And there it is, the message you've been waiting for. See how it looks almost exactly like the first one? But this time, it's the best news you could ask for. This is the official green light. Your credit is back. And here's what that looks like in your ledger. It's a perfect before and after. That 40,000 that was blocked, back down to 0. Your available credit, right back up to the full 1 lakh. Your money is finally unlocked. Phew. Okay, so we've gone all the way from that initial, frankly, scary message, all the way to getting it resolved. So let's just boil this down to the key takeaways and think about what you should do next. So, if you remember nothing else, remember these 4 things. 1, a person did this, not a computer. 2, Your money is frozen until you do something. 3, it's almost always temporary, so don't freak out. And 4, and this is the big one, good paperwork is the key that unlocks everything. And that really brings us to the final, most important point. Look, getting this fixed is great, but you know what's even better? Not having it happen in the first place. So the real question you should be asking yourself isn't just, how do I fix this? It's, how can I make my documentation so clean, so transparent, that no one ever has a reason to block my credit again? Now, that's how you make sure things run smoothly from here on out.